mean, Riley Cooper, I mean, like, that dude deserves a statue. I mean, like,
number one on your speed dial.
Hey, I'll tell you what, like, I mean, I didn't know until a couple days after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, is he the MVP or like we got the all-tournament team?
No doubt about it.
And then Ty Floyd, when I struck out 17, and like stole it from him. But I was like, when has a pitcher like been a part of like 5 of the 6 wins in Omaha? I mean, what a performance!
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, Jordy.
Thank you for the time.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Sharp a little late, boys, at the spring game, obviously, as you can see. Couple of booze cruises here to do. Let's do it. Cruise. Grand salami to the boys. Finally back on track. And I got another one coming. Don't you think I don't? And that's how we roll in Tiger Stadium.
Just watching the spring games that were on television, one thing that jumped out about your squad is your quarterback room is very talented compared to a lot of the league and a lot of the country. I wonder, is it easier to recruit that position when you have talent or when you don't have talent? Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right. Nice start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, Jordy.
Thank you for the time. All right, welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here from our studios on the campus of Click Here Digital, where we originate from every single day and built by RMB Builders. Shout out to our friends over at Southern Regional Medical Center for bringing you our phone lines every day, and they're jam-packed. We're going to talk to Glen West coming up from 247. Big announcements coming up this week as Keelan Moses is set to make his college choice tomorrow from a high school basketball game. We've also got some big recruiting news with the transfer portal opening up on Monday. A lot of stuff shaking up. LSU basketball last night falls on the road in the SEC ACC Challenge as Syracuse bludgeons LSU on the road last night. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we will focus in on obviously LSU football closing up the regular season with Glen West coming up here at 7:30 this morning. Then Jacques will be in at 8 a.m. somewhere through the 8 o'clock hour as we will do our Wednesday regular segment with JD. We appreciate you starting your day with us. As always, if you don't mind, hit that like button, share button, comment button. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscription button before you get out of here. If you're watching for the first time or you're coming back here to the show and finding the channel, make sure you subscribe before you get out of here. We appreciate that. And if you want to keep up with all of the content that comes out, you can just simply click that bell button and you'll get notified each time we go live here. So we appreciate you as always being here. Lloyd is here on this Wednesday. Stewie is here on this Wednesday, as well as we will talk about Jaden Daniels coming down and finalist list being made for awards and award season really coming upon us. And Daniels in some of the most prestigious college football awards that exist is now a finalist and down to the bitter end here of the Walter Camp Player of the Year Award, as Daniels is a finalist for this national award, along with three others, the Davey O'Brien Award, the Maxwell Award, we mentioned the Walter Camp Award, and the Unitas Golden Arm Award, and as well as the Heisman Trophy, which will be announced. The finalists will be announced on Monday, December 4th, and imagine that he will be one of the four that will be invited there. So Jaden Daniels here during award season, very much being appreciated and very much being respected and shown all that what his accomplishments and what he did on the field is being respected by the voters, by the national pollsters, and really I believe it's I don't know. Stewie and I were talking a little bit before the show. I just hope that that people will respect what Daniels has done throughout the season and not get enamored by whatever happens this weekend and be a prisoner of the moment, which is a tough ask. I mean, I think, just by human nature, a large percentage of us are like that. What's the last thing we saw? What is, really just kind of the last thing that stuck out to you. And if Bo Nix goes out this weekend and has, a pretty good game, not necessarily a stellar game, I wonder if that'll be enough to kind of push him over the edge for Daniels. I hope it does not. I think that Daniels from start to finish clearly has been the best player in college football. All of his accomplishments, all of his highlights from each week, they speak for itself, really, when you're talking about just what his accomplishments are. When you stack his numbers up side by side to the rest of the field, it's almost laughable that this is that this is being debated. So, I just hope that Daniels can push through this weekend, even though he'll be watching and not having an opportunity to suit up and play, where his body of work can carry him through on these big time awards, because he deserves it. He absolutely, in my opinion, and that's as unbiased as I can be. This is as much college football each and every Saturday that I have watched. I in just the last couple of years, it just feels like I took so much college football in from start to finish and watched, all of anyone who was talking about, whether it was Drake May at North Carolina, or whether it was Shedeur Sanders or Caleb Williams or whoever it was,
Bo Nix,
whatever team player, Jaden Daniels clearly was the best player each and every week. And what he means to his team, I can't find another player that means as much as Daniels does. I mean, you take Jaden Daniels away from LSU.
Oh, no.
And they got the first pick in the draft. I mean, like, they are a whole different team.
Scratching and clawing to the 9 wins.
9 wins. You looking at 6 in the eyeballs.
You wish you could get to 9.
You're losing.
You got to 9 because of 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he did it like clockwork. It was 9 to 5.
It was every week.
And
punching that ticket.
And I think the biggest, really, testimony for him, the biggest compliment to him, is look at what happens when he came off the field.
Yeah, Alabama.
I mean,
even Missouri.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
it was.
You lose.
It got scary in Missouri.
I think it's fair to say without Jaden Daniels, you lose to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
You lose to Missouri.
Yes.
You lose to Texas A&M.
Yes.
So that's 3 more losses that are wins.
And I think clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, like
it's not even a question.
I mean, I could make an argument Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
If
mean,
you
really,
wanted to.
Probably. Yeah.
But those, I think, for those 3 for sure, without Jaden Daniels, you don't win the football game.
mean,
Even A&M, he had to turn it on in the last quarter and a half to be able to get you a win there.
Absolutely.
Every time, if he doesn't play perfect football, every game that he played, LSU didn't have a chance to win.
And I would think to football guys, to football people, to football, savants around the sport who are that to me is the biggest compliment to anyone.
Yeah.
That's the best player in the country.
Like that's the
what it
best
means.
player in the country. It's
That's
clear cut.
That's why I'm with David Pollock. He's a
Yeah,
football
David Pollock
guy.
is
a football guy. If you want a college football Hall of Famer, all of that.
And he's somebody that played defense who knows if he's lined up against him on the other side, he'd be in a pretzel. Like, we have to stop 5 every single play.
Exactly.
Like, he's gonna get you.
I mean, we sit here every day and watch Read and React, and they talk about Jaden Daniels every day, and that's Roman Harper. Like, Alabama Hall of Famer, like a dog. And he talks about, I don't know how you would defend the guy.
And I don't know how you don't give it to him. I really don't. I mean, I listen to these arguments from, really, it's only West Coast.
Yeah.
Right. But I think a lot of what is happening right now, I have a couple of scenarios. One, the reason the betting odds have changed is because Bo Nix is getting that last game. So people are just kind of hedging, saying, look, you're going to get to say, they're playing the odds, so if he gets one more game. They're not saying Bo Nix is better, so I wouldn't look at the gambling perspective. What I want to know is, if Bo Nix plays well and loses, I think what scenario does that output if he has 4 touchdowns and a loss? Because now you're talking about, now he's in the Jaden Daniels camp.
Yeah.
Can't win the big game. 2 losses to the same person. Because I think Michael Penix is out. Yeah. I don't think he has enough skins on the wall.
This is a 2-horse.
And his last Washington State game was not good for him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't been a Heisman. Like, they've won.
I mean, I don't know if Tom Brady could have played good in that game.
The weather.
I mean, that was a terrible.
Was it snowing?
No, it was just
it was raining sideways and 30-degree weather.
Yeah, it was Washington weather. Yeah. It was Pete Carroll special.
See, I didn't. It was
Catch fish.
Was that the last Pac-12 After Dark game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is the last Pac-12 game ever. I'm sure they'll get a lot of and that plays into it too.
Sure.
They'll put a lot of fanfare into that. But if Bo Nix plays well in a loss, I think that gives Jaden Daniels a significant chance to win. If Bo Nix doesn't play well and struggles and, like a 21 of 28 for 212 and a touchdown and a pick or something like that, where it's 4-2 even, where he plays well but not 6 touchdowns and runs away with it. That's what you're scared of if you're an LSU fan. You want Jaden Daniels to win. You're terrified of Bo Nix going and being like, okay, this was so dominant, it's not even going to be a conversation.
No, that's I mean,
worst case scenario.
That's the nightmare.
Yeah,
I mean, then he goes in there,
runs around,
plays like Jaden Daniels,
right? Mm-hmm. But
plays like Bo Nix against LSU.
You talked about how you had consumed more college football than you ever have. I've consumed more LSU football, and then probably, I won't say that I ever have, but I went to every home game, and part of that was because Jaden Daniels was playing quarterback. That's why I came back from Alexandria at 6 a.m. because I wanted to see Jaden Daniels play his last game. That's how good he's been. So I've seen enough. I've seen more of Jaden Daniels than I've seen of anybody in the country, and bar none, he's the best player I've seen this year. Whenever you see him in any situation on offense, like, anything can happen, whether it's him running or throwing the football, and it's not even particularly close. Does it help that he has weapons on the outside? Yeah, but that's not his fault that he's utilizing them. You saw what happened last year when he didn't. It's a totally different player, and you should give Malik the Blitnikoff. Like, that's even more of a one-horse race.
I think that the Malik Neighbors. I think his comparison to the field is it almost feels like
laps him.
Burrow in 19.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's like
it is. Like, it shouldn't even be a conversation.
What's the debate?
What are we talking about?
And he's not going to win it either.
I feel like
oh my goodness.
I mean, they're backing it up for Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, he shouldn't be invited.
They are making it. They're making this they're conditioning you to give
they're grooming you.
They're absolutely
it's
like
Epstein Island out here for Marvin Harrison
getting
Jr.
you ready.
Priming
they're
you.
going to hand Marvin Harrison this award on pure
Talent.
name recognition. I mean, like, really and truly, like, Marvin Harrison to me is, in my opinion, he's a lot like Jamar Chase, like Stingley. Like, he's probably the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
He's the best player.
So he has to get
football
some
player.
recognition.
So in college, he gets this. He gets this lore to him. He gets this following to him. He gets this reputation to him of that you have to reward him, that you have to give him some type of trophy to recognize that is what it feels like is happening with Marvin Harrison. I don't need Marvin Harrison to win the Biletnikoff to tell me that he's probably the best football player in the sport this year. Like, he's probably the best player, the guy, the Patrick Peterson.
Right.
Like the guy that he might go fifth, he might get drafted fourth, but just because other teams have different needs. But whoever gets him gets Jalen Carter. Right? Yeah. Jalen Carter went 10th to the Eagles. Looking back on that, what's that look like now? I mean, he's shoving around NFL offensive linemen.
He's trying to pick off
they're
spikes.
high school kids.
I mean,
he's going in between the center's leg to pick off a spike.
He almost picked off Mahomes on that spike.
So on YouTube.
I mean, but the reaction of that is amazing for that size of a dude to be able to, like,
just jump down and just
squat and make a move like
and
that on a football, right?
He timed it up perfect.
But that to me is who Marvin Harrison is this year. His numbers and his game, his highlights, even like his play, for as good as it is, I mean, it's not his fault that he doesn't have a quarterback. But because he doesn't have a quarterback, he doesn't have the numbers and plays that Malik Neighbors does. And Malik Neighbors has combination of skill, speed, all that what you're looking for in his size of a wide receiver, and he plays with the best quarterback in the country.
Let's do a little exercise.
So, I mean, I don't understand how you don't look at these two guys and reward them for a college football season for what they've accomplished, that you may not see it again for a minute in an age that, you know, everybody's throwing it. Everybody throws the ball 40 times a game now. So, I mean, for these guys to have the type of season that they've had where they've lapped the field, literally. I mean, both of them have lapped the competition. And all of the competition are going to be pros. All the competition are going to be high-end guys. I mean, this is a great grab. Cody Worsham, by the way, and look, we've always known this about Worsham. Worsham is his background is in journalism, and he was a fantastic journalist when he was working the beat and working for Tiger Rag and working at his stops. But now that he's a part of the LSU administration, this is one skill set that he has carried over and just been like, what else do you need to see? I mean, he's done this stuff with Jaden Daniels, and now he's doing it with Malik Neighbors. And I mean, the Malik Neighbors one is,
I mean,
for as egregious as Jaden Daniels is, for as much as it stands out where you're like, oh yeah, that guy's the better player when you look at Daniels side by side next to Bo Nix and Michael Penix, this is more embarrassing. Like, this is more like, wait, hang on, what's the debate? Well, they're saying that Marvin Harrison's going to win it. How?
He's got one, and they're tied.
How is Marvin Harrison even being what? And as we sit here today, it wouldn't surprise me if they gave it to him.
Yeah, and I almost feel bad for there's a kid at Virginia. He has 105 catches with 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. Well, not even up for the Biletnikoff.
You know what he gets? He gets the portal.
Yeah,
you get to go.
All you get to do is go to Alabama.
You've got yourself a new scholarship.
Right.
I would rather that than the Biletnikoff if I'm him. Put me on the spotlight.
Absolutely. Get some of these numbers that they're throwing around in the transfer portal already.
Oh, it starts at a milli.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a quarterback that can catch a snap, you're getting $1 million.
And to put a bow on this,
I mean, Tyler Van Dyke's going to get another $1 million. I mean,
for sure,
he's a bum.
He needs to.
He lost his job to a true freshman.
He needs to go to
and should have
a mental He needs a mental break. He needs to go to
His head is a
Malibu.
pretzel. He's like Mac Jones.
He is spinning back there.
I'm done.
I mean, I expect Mac Jones to throw left-handed the next time I see him. He looks so lost.
He lost all his confidence.
I mean, Jordan, my son was like,
"What happened?"
Yeah, he was like, "What happened to me?" I said, "Jordan, that is what confidence is.
Yeah,
that's what confidence does. Like his confidence is shattered, Like he is." Thinking
you thought Sam Darnold was bad.
He's asking Belichick, "Do you want to pull me out?
Take me out the game."
Right? Like I don't want to play. Like
this game used to be fun.
That's a 3-yard out route he
missed,
ducked. I mean, like to the coach. I mean, he hit the coach in the gut.
It's the Sam Darnold. I'm seeing ghosts. I mean, he's playing in a cemetery.
Yeah. Like I mean, confidence is a brutal.
It's a fickle drug.
I mean, you take it away from somebody, and it's
a superpower.
Guy looks lost, man. I mean, he doesn't look like he knows what a football looks like.
21, 89 yards, and 2 interceptions.
Ugh.
If you told 2020 Mac Jones that was going to be a stat line at any point in his life, he would laugh at you.
Well, I mean,
but that's how high he was riding.
And then
guess they should have looked into that.
The COVID Italian, year, nobody. Tommy DeVito. Did you see his family?
Yeah, break your fucking leg.
His dad.
Was his dad the one with the cigar?
He gotta be.
Like,
I mean,
or his uncle.
I mean, gotta be. Like Uncle Donnie.
Yes, they're all in the stand, giving the paisan.
Break your fucking legs.
Flash the Italian flag. Dude, it's awesome. I mean, nobody wants DeVito to be a player more than me.
Yeah. You thought you would drop
Jordan, you'll have a DeVito jersey by Christmas, son, if this guy can hit a couple of more passes.
This is your real Italian guy.
We're flying up to New York.
Got the win.
Saints are terrible.
Yeah. How many Italian quarterbacks have you had? He's got to be like
what a great
first
fit.
Off the boat.
I mean, can you imagine his dad during the week?
Oh my God,
they're New Yorkers, coach.
Yeah. They're blaring the Sopranos theme song.
You see my son?
Look at him! Look at him!
Oh, Tommy Jr., huh?
I got a nickel on DeVito.
You seen DeVito's kid? He's starting for the G-Men.
Yeah, he's got double nickels on him. What do you know, Tommy? How we looking this week?
Tommy, should we take him or what? You talk to your boy?
Giants money line again?
What's the deal with Lawrence? Is he in or is he out? Is he playing? I got to let my boy at the docks know.
Hey, I got an envelope for you, Tommy.
I mean, dude, it is.
They're living the high life right now.
It's unreal, dude.
And as good as it is,
wait till he starts tanking. I mean, like,
he's going to end up on the injury report.
Hey, DeVito, you're not welcome at our breakfast anymore, right?
DeVito, keep it moving, kid.
Until your son can hit a wide receiver.
DeVito, huh? You're an embarrassment. Keep it moving.
DeVito has thrown 7 touchdowns. Shout out to Brandon Hollingsworth in the chat. DeVito has thrown 7 touchdowns in November. Derek Carr has thrown 2.
Oh,
God.
Do you know who Tommy DeVito was before 3 weeks ago?
I do not.
He didn't even know.
Where did he go to school?
That's what I
think he went to Illinois or Syracuse.
I mean, probably somewhere up north.
Brad David, Jordy, what are your thoughts on Petrino going back to Arkansas? SEC, baby. Big time football. It's the NFL now, man.
Rev up the motorcycle.
Nobody cares about your past transgressions. I mean, I'm telling you, if Brian Kelly can't get this recruiting right, he might call Ogeron.
I thought about the like the meme of
Maserati.
Adam Sandler in the from Hidden Gems. He's like this right here.
This is how I win.
And he's looking, and that's
Sam Pittman's desperate.
I mean,
he's absolutely desperate. I mean, he is so desperate that his job is on the line, and if it means bringing Bobby Petrino back to Arkansas, then by all means, cut the check, get the deal done, whatever it takes. I don't care. Is the volleyball player still on campus? She might be. Who cares?
Bringing her back.
Her husband's still
Did you
around.
see the offense in
Petrino wants to share an office with her. If he can get us into the top 10 offensively, put her in there. I mean,
save Pittman's job.
It's whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Wow, he played at Syracuse
and Illinois. But Petrino coming back, it was like you would think. Actually, you wouldn't think this, but like controversy. There's none. Everybody at Arkansas is fired up for him to come back. Like, the fan base is fired up.
Got an offense, baby!
Yeah. We got 50 a game.
Finally got an offense back.
And then, like, all the former players like, hell yeah, Petrino's going to bring it back. If you're Pittman, you're going to be nervous. This man's going to take your job.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of
it's the Orgeron in less miles.
Right.
Where you hired your interim if you...
I mean...
That might be one move that you can't. I don't know if you can make that.
So
move.
you don't think?
I don't think you can make him the head guy.
No.
It's one thing to make him the OC, and I'm on board with it. Like I get it. No pushback.
Statute of limitations.
But in a crazy world, do you think Brian Kelly would make that call?
Never.
Never.
Damn.
No, I think that Kelly has to swallow a little bit of his pride to make the Corey Raymond call.
Talk to the daddy.
I think that if there's conversation there, which I believe there is, I think that Brian Kelly would have to first almost kind of apologize to Raymond for not giving him a chance or giving him a conversation the first time around.
It kind of looks,
right?
Like you should have given him a chance.
Oh, you think? I think there's a couple of guys on the former staff that could have helped out Kelly in the transition. You talk about a guy like Blake Baker, who was very instrumental in recruiting. Very instrumental in recruiting high-end players. You're looking back, he's a fantastic on-the-field coach. Makes a lot of sense. And obviously Corey Raymond for just what he had done. But, I don't – that does not surprise – that did not surprise me when I read that yesterday.
No, it
really – for as flashy as the headline is, Petrino back to Arkansas, where you're like, oh my God.
Dust off the motorcycle.
Like after you see it, you're like,
called.
Yeah, it's SEC football.
Wonder if he still has the neck brace and the Sugar Bowl hat.
Absolutely.
He's got to have the Sugar Bowl hat.
That should be like
the Sugar Bowl hat was the first thing he grabbed.
That should be his presser.
What he has?
Trying to get the whooping.
He has it like Green Goblin and Spider-Man. He just has it in the shadow box just in case. Got to throw this thing back on.
He's been calling him.
Yes, talking to him.
As uncomfortable as that, as uncomfortable as the Texas A&M press conference was, that Bobby Petrino calling the Hogs.
Oh, it's going to be. It's going to be electric.
I don't even know if you have a press conference.
I think he might. No. Petrino loves the spotlight.
Yeah, he does, but Arkansas doesn't.
No, they don't let that again. But it would be awesome if they
here's
saw
your
him
office
on stage.
In the corner of campus.
Remember what happened last time, Bob?
Scoot, Bob.
Here's a play sheet.
You're a little older now, Bob.
Yeah, we got a car for you.
Right.
Wheel him in.
Takes you 3 blue pills now, Bob. For God's sakes.
You got your prescription in the office.
Yeah, pills are good. Take them.
Get on the whiteboard, man.
Yes. But it's not surprising. And if you saw, like you said, the SEC, you see Bobby Petrino go back to Arkansas. You would see possibly Corey Raymond come back to LSU. What's old is new again. That's where it becomes. The SEC is more like the NFL than any other. It's the most comparable thing in the league of like,
well, he could come back.
We only trust a couple people, and only a couple people can really do it right in certain spots. So kind of like wash and repeat and retread the tire, especially for like a Corey Raymond to LSU and a Bobby Petrino to Arkansas, your two best examples. Or Jimbo Fisher getting a job anywhere again. And then you see Indiana wants to hire Gruden. They paid $30 million buyout to Gruden wants that job.
Yeah, he does.
Saints might have a thing to say about that.
Gruden grew up in Bloomington. His dad was a coach at Indiana. So there's the connection there. I think he's, just trying to get back into the game. And, I believe money is not a big of an issue for Gruden as it would be for others.
Don't give
when
him
you're talking about
email.
a $30 million buyout in Indiana. Say what?
No school emails.
No, write it down.
That is
tiny box.
Yeah,
you got you a notebook, John.
Think before you speak and think before you type.
Or she's typing all the emails.
Yeah. I can't get into this damn computer.
That's right. That's on purpose.
Keep saying I have network connectivity problems.
Remember our friends over at Pierce Bespoke, as Pierce Bespoke Suits, fine tailored suits. We've been telling you about our friends Grayson Augustus and his team do a fantastic job. You can get in touch with them today over at Pierce Bespoke. Tell them you heard it right here on the show. And if you do, they will take $200 off of your first custom-made suit over at piercebespoke.com. They take measurements from the neck down. They offer thousands of fabrics to choose from. I have a custom-made suit that I had finished up, wore to a wedding a couple of weeks ago. It was awesome, great fit. They're a mobile tailor service. They can come to you right here in Baton Rouge. Check them out. Grayson Augustus, good dude, man. Got a great team. They can help you out online, piercebespoke.com. They got an Instagram page as well. If you want to book your fitting today, you can do it both on Instagram and online at piercebespoke.com. And as we mentioned, if you say that you heard it right here on the show, they'll take $200 off of your first job, your first suit, or whatever you're looking for. It's a sport coat, pants, shirts, suits, all custom made. So if you want to check them out, you can online at piercebespoke.com. All right, we're going to talk to Glen West coming up here. We should have Big G. Just let me know when we do. Yeah, we'll talk to Glen about some recruiting news coming up, about the evaluations here at the end of the season on LSU football. If we should expect any coaching turnover, and a little bit about last night's basketball game, as LSU looked like they were competitive there in the first half, but then kind of fell off the rails there in the second half and ended up getting beat pretty bad by Syracuse 80-57 last night up in New York. So Big G is back with us here on the show here on this Wednesday morning. Glenn, good morning. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. Let's start with Jaden Daniels. Obviously, he's the biggest story in college football. And now that we have all the body of work and seeing this regular season, Glenn, just from your point of view, what did we see? How historical of a run here was Daniel's senior season in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it compared to other guys who are in similar situations, whether it's, Johnny Manziel, Lamar Jackson, some of those more mobile quarterbacks that we've seen win the Heisman and have really electric seasons, not only with their arm but with their legs. I think Jaden stands out even over those guys. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's obviously one of the top passers in the country with the way he's improved with his downfield throwing for over 40 touchdowns, only I think to about 4 or 5 interceptions, completed 74-75% of his passes. But the thing that really sticks out to me is the running angle to all this. I mean, he ran for over 1,100 yards and 10 more touchdowns. I mean, you just stack up the rushing yards. He's top 20 in the country in rushing yards, and that's including quarterbacks and running backs. I mean, he's been on another level. So when you're one of the top passers and when you're one of the top runners in the country, obviously you're going to compile a lot of yards. You're going to be in those conversations for finalists for end of season awards. But he's been everything LSU could have expected and more. I mean, when we came into the season this year, I was just hoping that he would take some more of those chances downfield, that he'd give his receivers some more opportunities. I had no clue that he was going to be able to complete the amount of deep, downfield plays that he did. And that really opened up the rest of his game. I mean, when he started throwing those 20, 30, 40-yard passes, and completing them with really historic efficiency, that really opened up his running ability. And I thought over the last half of the season, you could really see that defenses were having to really respect him as a passer, and that allowed him to obviously have a really phenomenal end of the year with his legs, which has obviously been a really big kind of blueprint for him for most of his career. But I think he's when you're comparing Heisman candidates this year, all you got to do is go look at the graphic that Cody Worsham put up a couple days ago that he keeps updating. Jaden leads in all those, pretty much every stat that you look at. And so if this is about the best player, and if it is a stats award, I would expect Jaden to win. I think you're seeing some of the national media really take on that. Whether it's Herb Street or David Pollock or the guys over at SEC Network, there does seem to be a little bit more of a national vibe to where Jaden is in the Heisman race and why he's leading it. But I think this will probably just come down to the regional votes, and does he get enough votes down south, out on the East Coast, up north? The West Coast is probably going to be deciding between Penix and Nix. Maybe those guys cancel each other out to some degree based on what happens this weekend. So, I think he's right there. He's going to have a seat in New York City. It's just going to be about, does he get the ultimate prize?
How good was Malik Neighbors?
Oh, man, he was, just like Jaden, I think we all kind of expected Malik to kind of take a big step. And, he definitely, I think, exceeded expectations this year. I mean, to over 1,500 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns. The thing that impresses me most about Malik is that LSU knew coming into the season that they were going to have to move him around because defenses were going to key in on him. And so they had him learn every position on the field. And as a wide receiver, that versatility and that knowledge of football is really, it's hard to achieve, but it's also extremely telling about your passion for the sport when you go out there and do it. And I think that, whether it was on the boundary, whether it was in the slot, pre-snap motion, whatever it was, Neighbors was always going to have an impact on this team, and you saw him exceed it because of the fact that he has gone out there and has been able to really grow the mental side of his game. And I think that's one of the things that I took away from talking with him a lot this season during player interviews and stuff, is he just has a more understanding of the game and how to best attack defenses and different schemes. And you saw the chemistry with him and Jaden Daniels. There's probably not a better 1-2 punch in terms of chemistry in the country, and those guys have really just been remarkable this year. And so Litnikoff finalist, he's going to be an all-SEC, probably an all-American kind of player, and very much deserving. He's been fantastic all season.
Do you expect, I know Malik said he's going to come out, he wants to play in the bowl game. Do you expect Daniels to play?
I don't know. Jaden was a little bit more hesitant to say that he was going to have to think about it within talks with his family. Look, the day and age that we're in right now with football and just I would be a little bit surprised if Jaden played, to be honest with you. I think that he has done enough to make him a first-round talent. I think the pre-draft process is another way that he's going to win a lot of teams over. I mean, with his athletic ability, I don't know how there's not an NFL team that if they don't see it on film, they'll definitely see it in the pre-draft process through different workouts and meetings and whatever pro day or combines he ends up doing. So I think he's going to have a spot in the first round somewhere. And if you're that kind of talent and that kind of stakes are on the line, it makes a lot of sense for him not to play. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he hadn't come out and made an official decision yet, but just the recent history of all this and just the way that it kind of goes, I would be a little bit surprised if Jaden plays.
Glenn, Jacques coming in here in a couple of minutes. He's coming in here every Wednesday like he does, and obviously he's got a different responsibility than someone like you and I who, more you're on the beat like Jacques is. You're covering the news each and every day like he is. And I told those guys last week, I figured this week you all were going to be very busy, chasing stories and very early in the week. Are you surprised that there's not a lot happening for LSU on the news wire as far as coaching changes or shakeups right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the one thing that I'll say about this, and that I just kind of keep coming back to, is the goal number one that Brian Kelly has set out for this offseason has been about player retention. And so whether that's on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball, I think LSU wants a good bit of these veterans and young players back to develop for another year and to kind of build that continuity. I mean, you just saw it with the offense, how a year one to year two, the continuity and the chemistry really helped that unit. Defense hasn't really been in that position yet. They've had to turn over their starting lineup quite a bit from year one to year two. I don't know that LSU wants to have to do that again in year three. But if you do that, if you are all in on personnel and trying to get a lot of these guys back and continuing to grow on the edges and getting some impact talent in from the portal and obviously with your freshman class, the question then becomes okay, if you run it back with a lot of these players, do you really want to run it back with a lot of the coaches as well? And I think that's the decision that Brian Kelly is coming to right now. He's kind of thinking about, and Look, I'm not going to come on here and call for anybody's job. We know what the defense did this year. It was not great. They certainly took a step back, and he's going to have to factor in a lot of these evaluations. And I would be a little bit surprised if there aren't any coaching shakeups made. I think that they're going to do something, and we'll hear about it here in the next several days or in the next week or so. When Kelly was talking after the game, it sounded like the next week to 10 days, a lot of these evaluations of the players would be done, and that's when he would really get in on the coaching staff. And so, a lot of those conversations are probably already happening. They just maybe haven't gotten into any final decisions yet. But The bigger point that I have here is that if you're going to be running it back with a lot of these players that you're hoping to develop, I would imagine that you would have to have some kind of coaching shakeup. I just don't know what it is.
Keelan Moses is going to make his announcement tomorrow night from a University High basketball game. Moses is one of the top defenders in the country, one of the top players in the state. LSU has been trending for him for a lot of the recruitment. He put out his top 5 last week. What do you anticipate tomorrow night, G?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a big get. I mean, I think that LSU's in a really good position for him. They're in a really good position for Harlan Berry, who makes his decision here in about 3 or 4 weeks. So, yeah, I would absolutely, a big part of what Keelan's been putting out there recently is that he's going to shock the world. I know that LSU is a big, heavy favorite right now for him, and they've obviously, he was just on campus this last weekend. He's been on campus several times for games and has a great relationship with the coaching staff, and that's another piece of all this, right? I mean, you're going out there and you're trying to get commits and lock down a really good 2025 class as well. But if you're making some coaching changes and shifts and the program and whatnot, you're going to have all your ducks in a row for when those decisions are made. And so, I like LSU's position for Moses. I think that he'd be a really dynamic defensive piece at linebacker for this group to really build around. And we'll see if it shakes out LSU's way. But there's no doubt that LSU needs some ingrown Louisiana talent to really work out and kind of be foundational for the defense going forward.
How big was the get of Sean Washington yesterday with his commitment?
Big, because I have a piece coming out today about this, is just kind of looking at the defensive line. If there was one group that probably underwhelmed this year, it was probably the defensive line, and there was a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, with the coaching staff and the situation going on with the coaching of the D line this year, but you didn't get a whole lot from Mason Smith. Obviously, Mekhi Wingo kind of got hurt on you, and there were a lot of other guys that maybe just didn't really step up with the way that I think LSU probably hoped to. And so I think a big part of this offseason is going to be about replenishing the defensive line and trying to get some of those guys to stay and develop a little bit longer. But no doubt that adding a JUCO guy like Sean Washington, they're in the mix for another one in Jaden Hamlin, who is the #1 JUCO defensive line in the country. So if you land those two guys, you go in the portal for another. I think that really shores up the interior of your defensive line. You make the pitch to Mason and to Mekhi to come back, and why it's in their best interests, and you kind of see how it all plays out from there. But I do think that LSU's defensive line is going to get a very close look in terms of adding personnel and getting some guys back. I mean, we just saw Braden Swinson was on social media these last couple days, and it sounds like he is very interested in coming back, and he's working. He responded to somebody saying he's working on Mason and Mekhi, trying to get them to come back as well. So they have a lot of players bought in, I think, and I think that a lot of these exit meetings are going the way LSU hopes they would in terms of retention. So we'll see in the next several days who winds up staying, who winds up going to the draft or jumping in the portal. But retention is going to be goal #1, and then obviously adding guys like Washington to sand out the edges and really add depth is going to be a big part of this thing as well.
Monday's going to be wild, right, Glenn? I mean, covering college football. I mean, this feels like the first year of the portal where everybody kind of feels like they know how to navigate it, they know how to use it, and this feels like it's going to be a combination of NIL and transfer portal come Monday that is going to be nuts in college sports.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're already starting to hear of names, guys that are putting their names in the portal or intend on putting their names in the portal. So I agree. Look, December 4th is going to be it's going to be a madhouse for a lot of the guys that might be entering the portal. And LSU, I'm sure, will have their ducks in a row. They'll have some preliminary players that they'll want to attack and go after, and I'm sure they're already compiling their list. But there's no doubt that this is going to be, we thought last year was pretty crazy with the double-digit signees out of the portal. I don't know that LSU is going to get there this year. I think they're going to be a little bit more selective. That's the one thing that Brian Kelly has said, is that they want to be more selective this year in the portal. So you better make sure that if you're LSU and you're only going to take 6, 7, 8 guys, that you're hitting home runs on all of them, and that you're doing the right things and getting impact players in here that can help contribute next year.
Last one. We'll get you out of here. Make sure you're following Glen West on social media. Great follow at Glen West 21. He's a senior writer over at Go247. Follows LSU, and they're in the teeth of it. They're in basketball season, recruiting season, football season, all of it happening last night. Disappointing last night, up in Syracuse. I thought LSU had a great opportunity to really kind of step out and show some progress, but 19 turnovers later, struggling from behind the three-point line offensively, and an 80-57 loss to the Orange. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, they got out of their game, and that's not surprising with this team. I think you're going to have games like this where just really nothing's working, and you don't have the pieces or to kind of orchestrate right now when you're going through struggles. And it's just another classic example last night of how beneficial I think Jalen Cook would be to this roster right now. I mean, they were looking all out of sorts in the half court. They just did not have very good rhythm with their offensive sets. I mean, they took 23 threes last night. They missed 21 of them, and that's not LSU's game. LSU's game has been, at least to this point, a group that attacks the rim, gets to the free throw line, and Syracuse really flipped it up on them. They were the team that was the attacker. They were getting to the free throw line. I mean, it seemed like every other possession, Judah Mintz was getting to the free throw line and converting 2 free throws, from his attacking and drawing fouls. So, you had the 19 turnovers. You missed a bunch of threes. Defensively, they got their hands caught in the cookie jar a little bit too much and drew too many fouls, and they allowed a ton of offensive rebounds in the second half that allowed Syracuse to get back in it. So it was one of the more disappointing games I think for LSU this year. It was really a blowout from the early minutes of the second half on, and they just were never able to get back in it. And you're going to have games like this. I mean, I do think that they've shown that they can be competitive with teams. They just got to be able to do it on a more consistent basis, and just don't know that they have the guys right now to figure that out.
Glenn, great work, man. Thanks for stopping in this morning. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Jordy. Appreciate it.
There he is, Glen West, checking in from 247 this morning. Make sure and follow him on social media at Glen West 21. If you want to keep up with what's being said and what's being covered over there at Go247. Remember, daily, we're brought to you by Go Roof, online at GEAUXroof.com. Our friends over at Go Roof can be tracked down easily if you want to find them online, or you want to dial them up. You can do that at 927-8300. 225-927-8300 is the phone number for our friends over at Go Roof, and that is a beautiful roof every single time when you get in touch with them. That's commercial, residential. They can help you out today, and I mean today. If you get in touch with them this morning, they'll be on the roof today, diagnosing, letting you know what's happening, letting you know what you need as far as repair, new installation, commercial, residential, maintenance. All of that can be handled by our friends over at Go Roof. 225-927-8300, 225-927-8300. It's a beautiful roof every single time. Roof's up with our friends over at Go Roof. 2-year free workmanship guarantee on all new roof installations when you work with our friends over at Go Roof. They're the best in the business. Competitive pricing, free quotes, free roof inspections. They'll jump up on the roof today. They'll diagnose the problem, let you know what's going on, work with the insurance company, take all the headaches out for you. Next thing you know, you got a beautiful roof. And that's what happens every single time when you work with our friends over at Go Roof. GEAUXroof.com. Go Roof. We appreciate their sponsorship and partnership over here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Get in touch with them today if you need a new roof. All right, thanks to Glen West stopping by here. Jacques will be by in a couple of minutes, and we'll continue the conversation on LSU as the Tigers go into this championship weekend for the SEC and for conferences around the country. Obviously, Alabama and Georgia will square off on Saturday in the SEC title game. But LSU will be paying attention to what's going on as announcements will be made on Sunday as far as postseason landing spots. I agree with Glenn. I don't believe that we will see Jaden Daniels. I don't even believe that we'll get him in there for a series or two to make the pass to Malik Neighbors. I just think that there's too much on the line. There's too much in jeopardy for a player like Daniels, who has just skyrocketed up draft boards, a lot like Burrow did in his senior season. Burrow was a guy going into the season, and I believe Mel Kiper had third day. I mean, there was, the discussion of him maybe being a late round draft pick going into his senior year, and then just catapulted himself, not only up into the first round, but ultimately the number 1 overall pick at the end of his senior season. Daniels has had that sort of meteoric rise, in my opinion. I think if you would have polled the draft analysts going in to the summer or coming out of last season on where Daniels stood as far as his draft stock was concerned, he probably felt like a third, fourth day guy, or maybe even a free agent type pickup in this year's draft after coming back for his senior season and ultimately showing off that he's the best player in the sport week in, week out. He's worked himself up into a first round discussion. I think, I've seen many mock drafts that have him in the first round. I've seen some that are still on the fence. I've seen him as high as 6.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Athletic. The Athletic has him at 7.
I mean,
and Malik Neighbors going 6.
That's what I was about to say. I was interested to see who would be higher in a mock draft or who you thought would go first in a draft between Malik and Jaden. Obviously, Malik's playing only for he wants that record bad, whether it's a personal vendetta or just something that he feels like he deserved after the Kyron Lacy call.
20 yards away from it.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right there. I mean, to be able to take your grandkids back to campus here in 30 years,
and
40 years, 50 years.
Receptions, yards.
And say, you think Pops could play?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, at one point, I held all these records.
Yeah. It was mine.
I mean, who's to say that it doesn't get broken? But, I mean, to say that you were the all-time leader at LSU in this era,
I mean,
following Odell, following Jarvis, following Jamar Chase, following Justin Jefferson. After all those guys have come in and put their body of work down, you came in and one-upped them for 20 yards. I'll play 2 series. You know what I mean?
I don't even think it takes 2.
I think if you just game plan him on the first series and give it to him 3 times,
I said pop
pass.
Yeah, he'll reel off 25 yards.
I mean, he might go score that thing just to do it.
But I don't believe that Daniels needs to play. And I would say the same thing, as far as, talking a little bit about guys who have decisions to make. And I think that there is some guys on this team that do have ultimate decisions to make. And I think that the 2 at the top of the list that everybody are paying attention to most are going to be the defensive linemen in Mekhi Wingo and Mason Smith. And, backing this conversation up to last summer or summer, the offseason coming into the year, I think everybody would have anticipated that Mason Smith would have been the guy that really would have hit his ceiling and had the opportunity to go to the next level. When in reality, in my opinion, I believe Mekhi Wingo has hit his ceiling in college football, and that it's now time for him to probably explore the next level. And if you're Mason Smith, I don't think that you've done enough to reach your potential in college to ultimately get the highest draft ranking status pick that you could. I think that Mekhi Wingo, if I was betting today, I would say that he would be gone next year. I would say that he would be going pro. If I was in Mason Smith's camp, I can't say that I know what he's going to do, but I would say, hey, man, come back for another year, play in tip-top shape for the full year, and go show pro scouts how consistent of a dominating player you can be inside, and take your draft status from what is now 4th, 3rd round and make that a first-round grade, which he can do. And that is generational money that he is going to make on the front end of his career. Sure, some guys get into the NFL and they're able to compensate for being a late-round draft pick, for not making the money, for, a guy like La'el Collins, at some point his talent was just going to rise to the top, right? I mean, whether, it was a draft day tragedy, it was a draft day, whatever happened, he didn't get his money on the front end of his contract, and he was a guy that was expected to be a high first-round draft pick that would have had a big-time signing bonus that would have changed his life 4 years earlier than it ultimately did. But he made his money just because I mean, he's too talented. Mason Smith, I feel like once he gets into the league, his talent, his physical ability is going to keep him there for a long time. He's going to make a lot of money playing NFL football, in my opinion, if I was betting on it today. But if he was to leave this year, that would be a tougher struggle to get to. I mean, it'd be a longer road to get to that big money, in my opinion, rather if he came back.
He runs the risk of being cut if he goes out this year and gets drafted, between the 3rd and 5th round. I wouldn't even put him in the 3rd round. I would say, where would you draft him?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you're just drafting off of potential.
Right. And so that's not a 1st or 2nd round pick.
No, I don't think that he's a 1st or 2nd round pick right now, and I think potentially he could be.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. If he comes back, that's where you start, regardless of your injury history, if you're drafted earlier, they'll do everything they can to keep you on the roster because they used to pick on you, a high pick, to make sure that they want to be right too. They don't want to be like, cut bait with him, I was wrong, 1st round pick, can't have him. Like if Mason Smith is, just because of his injury history, if he gets drafted earlier, I think that gives him more of a leash to be able to get healthy, get his footing in the league, because you've seen him almost, I would say, struggle a little bit in the SEC, and he's just, after such a freshman year that was filled with potential, where you saw the flashes of he could be one of the most dominant linemen in the country, and then injury-riddled pretty much sophomore season and junior season, to where if you want to give him a 100% chance to have a full go, that's what will be the best opportunity for him. I think they're not going to make their decision until they find out what you do on the defensive line coach.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be a big – and look, I think that those conversations are being had with guys like that where they have an understanding of who it's going to be. But, I mean, you look at guys like Al Woods, who's been in the league for so long. I mean, he's got a physical skill set that, just doesn't walk through the door every day. Mason Smith is a lot like that. I mean, he's built, he's physically, he's got a skill set to him that, you rarely can find that size, speed, strength combination that Smith had. Did he struggle this year? He absolutely did. Did he reach his potential? He did not, but I agree, Lloyd. He was not healthy, and even when he was healthy, he was still suffering from the days where he was not healthy because he just couldn't get himself into shape. And once you started to see him round that corner, he still struggled a bit, but you started to see the glimpses. You started to see the reasons why people really do look at him as almost kind of a unicorn type prospect. There's probably about 6 or 7 of him on the planet that with that size, that strength, that speed, that look, man, whether he struggles or not in college, he's going to get a shot.
Oh, no doubt.
But if he was to have a solid, consistent, productive season, he could find himself in the top 25 picks, top 20 picks, which is that is generational money. I mean, that is millions and millions of dollars. So that's the decision. That's what he's up against, and he'll have to make that. Katie's of New Orleans brings you our show daily. Katie's is a restaurant located down on Iberville Street, right in the heart of Mid-City. Katie'sInMidCity.com is actually the web address that you can find them online. You can check out the lunch specials, check out some of the sites that you have down there at Katie's as far as the restaurant goes and the menu goes. Coldest beer in town, best service, brand new addition on upstairs with 6 new televisions. So if you want to check out the place and watch a game there, they have really embraced the new Sunday schedule of 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. They want you to stop in, watch NFL, check out some of the scores, get some cold beer, check out the great service, some of the favorites on the menu, all at Katie's in Mid-City. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Online, and you can find them on Iberville Street down in New Orleans, right there in the heart of Mid-City. We'll be back. Jacques in studio. We will have WAFB sports director here. We will talk to him about the next couple of days and weeks coming up, as it should be a crazy time with LSU all over the place as far as bowls, awards, and basketball season. A lot going on right now. We'll talk to JD when we come back here. Jordy Culotta Show, as always, built by R&B.
Hey, cut my headphones up, bro. Yeah, right there.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Corrects done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Eve, Santa Claus was riding in his sleigh. He was packed with toys for the girls and boys, merrily on his way. When a bridge riding on a reindeer pulled right. Santa Claus got Gordon, got it done.
Merry Christmas from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and in every Louisiana house, all the creatures were stirring.
Santa's coming.
Even the mouse. The stockings were hung, the cookies were out. Santa was on his way to Louisiana, there was no doubt. So let's celebrate the season and start the new year off right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McKernan?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life. Hi, I'm Gordon McKernan. Everyone has a special Christmas memory. One of mine is when I woke up on Christmas morning, ran down the stairs, and there it was, a brand new red bicycle.
That is why this Christmas, Gordon McKernan is giving away over 425 bicycles throughout the state of Louisiana.
To register, please fill out a form online at GordonGives.com or GetGordon.com. And make sure to visit the Get Gordon Facebook page for additional details and chances to win. From all of us here at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, Merry Christmas and God bless.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Now I'm focused on getting deposits. Evil in the way, now I'm just driving around it. They said I need a soul searching, I already found it. I unlocked my other side, now I'm sounding astounded. Drive by and let it ride like I'm whipping a Tesla. Pressure never fazed me, cause I'm bigger than pressure. I'm on my grind, bullshit, can't fit on my schedule. I'ma do what's best with me, you can keep all your lectures. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone till November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the block like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jumping the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bouncing back like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gon' sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up.
All right, welcome back here. Wednesday edition of Jordy Culotta Show, as always, built by RMB, live on the campus of Click Here Digital. Remember, Click Here Digital helping you out with your digital marketing strategy, whether it's Google ads, social media ads, you need content, you need direction and consultation on just digital media marketing strategy. We can help you out over here at Click Here Digital. If you want, check it out online, clickheredigital.com, or if you want to email me directly, we can put you in touch with the 120 team members here, specialists and experts in the fields of YouTube, Google, SEM, SEO, whatever it may be from a digital marketing strategy that you're looking for. Let us help you out over at Click Here. Jordy at clickheredigital.com is the email address where you can track me down, and I'll put you in touch with all of the experts over here at Click Here. All right, Jacques with us every Wednesday, our favorite now, the WAFB 9 sports director. Has been in that seat now for a little over a month, doing a great job, right in the heart of high school football season, which is really a busy time for local sports departments and high school football in the state of Louisiana, obviously with state semifinals.
Yeah, state semifinals this week. Wow. We've got some huge matchups. We've got Dutchtown and Zachary going head-to-head with a trip to the Dome on the line. We got U-High traveling to LaPlace to take on St. Charles Catholic. Catholic High is hosting Rummel.
Damn.
So there's huge games this week, and I think the rain hopefully will be out of here by Friday night. I think it's going to rain on Friday morning for a bit, but hopefully we're clear on that.
JD, lots to get to with you right now. This is kind of the time of the schedule of high school football, wrapping up, and award season coming up. I know you and Darren are hopping on a plane to New York for the Heisman ceremony.
Darren's not coming.
Oh, sorry, Darren.
I'm going.
My bad, D. But obviously basketball and everything. Let's start with football. You wrap up the regular season last week with your 9th regular season win. Quarterback plays fantastic. Keeps himself relevant in the Heisman Trophy race, and a nice Saturday send-off for the seniors. What was your experience last week in Tiger Stadium?
Well, it was a frustrating first half because your offense wasn't on the field, and Jaden was not putting up numbers, and I think there was some fear that he was going to begin to maybe lose a shot at the Heisman that day because the LSU defense, couldn't get off the field. But in the second half, obviously, he lit it up, a combination of some great passes and some great catches, by his wide receivers. Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Kyron Lacey, those 3 touchdowns in the second half, those were not easy catches to make. And really a big crowd, too, all things considered. I think the crowds in Tiger Stadium, compared to what we've seen in recent years, have really been good. Considering that you're out of the race for the SEC West and anything truly significant as a team, and that's a tough spot. 11 a.m. after Thanksgiving. What's your motivation level and so forth? But I thought it was another fantastic performance in what's going to be the final home game in Jaden Daniels' career. Just everyone's doing a great job of breaking down the numbers, but just taking a look at it this morning, to think that in 2 years at LSU he's thrown 715 passes and he's been intercepted 7 times. Damn. Is a pretty amazing statistic. He's intercepted once basically out of every over 100 throws. And it's crazy. And this year he's throwing the ball down the field. It's not like you can say, oh, he's checking it down and this and that. I mean, he's throwing the ball over the middle and deep, and you look at the 4 interceptions this year, I think only one, and I don't even want to say was his fault, but the one against Arkansas where Dwight McLaughlin jumped it. Mm-hmm. The other 3 were guy fell down, tipped against Auburn, tipped against Alabama.
And then Malik fell down or slipped on the route against Florida State.
And Malik fell down against Florida State. So
bad turf. Could have had just 1 pick.
So a lot of Heisman chants from the crowd. And so, a great, a 9-3 season, 2 9-3 seasons for Coach Brian Kelly after inheriting a program that went 5-5 in 2020, albeit against an all SEC schedule in 2020. There weren't any layups, but then a 6-7. So if you go back-to-back 10-win seasons, I think you obviously have improved, especially considering where the program was heading. But then, one side of the football is really, weighing down the other, and when you have I feel like, really, Jordy, I'm doing the same thing. I feel like I'm back in 2019 doing these stories on my sportscast because it's all the same thing all over again. Joe Burrow, Davey O'Brien Award, Maxwell Award. I mean, I'm just plugging in Jaden Daniels' name now.
Mm-hmm.
The Broyles Award, top assistant coach. It was Joe Brady. Now it's Mike Denbrock's up for it. What's the
Joe Moore Award?
The Joe for the offensive line. Now they're up for it. Bolitnikoff Award, which is not to the top wide receiver, folks. It's to the top pass receiver of any position. So I had to
really so like a tight end could win.
A tight end, I think, won it a couple of years ago. I was told if a running back for whatever reason would catch 100 passes for 1,200 yards, he could be the Bolitnikoff Award winner. It doesn't have to be a wide receiver.
Wow.
I learned that. So. Anyways, yeah, all these guys are up for these awards all over again. The difference is you're not going to be in the SEC championship game or a playoff or in the national title. But we'll see if the bowl game interests people and who they. I mean, it looks like they're going to play. All the projections have them for the most part in Tampa.
Yeah,
perhaps playing Notre Dame. And what kind of tickets would that sell? If I go see Guns N' Roses, Slash needs to be there, Lloyd.
Right.
So it's the same thing. It's like. Okay, if I'm going to buy tickets, who's performing?
Right. Right.
Who's going to be in uniform for LSU?
Well, that's why they would have to try and sell, I'd imagine, the Notre Dame LSU. It's more Brian Kelly versus Notre Dame than anything that happens player-wise. It's more that's the narrative that you sell. I don't know if that sells tickets, but it'll definitely get eyeballs on television.
And I mean, can you, with a straight face, make that pitch to Jaden Daniels or,
win one for the Gipper?
Yeah. Hey, man.
One more.
One more for me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Who's the opposing quarterback? Like getting two boxers in the ring or something. Don't you want to go head to head with this guy? And,
I don't think. Sam Hartman probably won't play either.
That's what I've.
And so it'll be. I don't even know who their backup is, but
I don't either.
That's what happens when you don't make it to the New Year's Six bowls or the
that's what it's
playoff.
become now.
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, if you said, "Hey man, you're playing in the New Year's Day bowl
against Notre Dame,"
that's a great year, right?
I mean,
now it's like, I don't understand it to some extent. Because, people talk about LSU football 365 days a year.
Right.
You only play 12 games. Here's a chance to see those colors again, see that team run out of the tunnel again. I don't care. I don't understand that. I think in the next couple of weeks, people will get fired. I don't want to say fired up, but once the the depression hits that LSU football is no longer on Saturday, then I think it's like, okay, we get to watch them one more time.
And next year's home schedule. Like, prepare yourself. It's going to be a fantastic run next year. I mean, saw the upgrades to Tiger Stadium coming, 100 years of Tiger Stadium being open. It originally opened in 1924. Next season, upgrading lights, scoreboards, video boards, really going to improve the in-game experience. So with Oklahoma coming in, with UCLA coming in, with Ole Miss coming in, with Alabama coming in, it'll be cool to see that place next season really celebrating 100 years and what it'll look like in year 3 of Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly has really called out year 3 for this program when you've talked about kind of evaluating his run at LSU, and he said, we need to till at least year 3. Well, here year 3 comes, and we said last week I expected you to be very busy at the beginning of the week. Are you surprised that LSU's been out of the wire a little bit?
Yeah, maybe I was me being naive or not having a good grip on things, but I thought that the 48 hours after the LSU Texas A&M game would be somewhat frantic, or coaches were being let go, or coaches being let in or brought in, or this and that, and nothing has happened yet. I'm not sure at this point if Matt House even knows his future, and the other coaches even know their future. I mean, this is a talk show. We have heard the rumors of Corey Raymond coming back for a while, and so does the timeline of everything line up in terms of, did Billy Napier kind of hear that himself and push him out the door? Those are all questions that we have in terms of who's going to be on the staff and everything next year. Is there any way that you can sell it to your fan base that we're bringing Matt House back, but we're getting rid of the other assistant coaches and we've got talent coming in? But the transfer portal opens December 4th, right? This Monday, I think the same day the Heisman finalists are announced. And don't the players have to know who they're playing for to extend what are you selling to them? At the same time, I feel like, look, you're paying Brian Kelly all this money, and you're paying Scott Woodward all this money to be professionals and to make decisions and to not be influenced by people like us or people on chat rooms and this and that. The same people who might have yelled at Jay Johnson to take Jordan Thompson out of the lineup because he was doing awful in Omaha. So you're the paid professional. You make the decision, but there are consequences to decisions, good or bad.
From the football standpoint now, the offseason really turns towards recruiting, coaching changes. How much has it changed in – I think I was talking to somebody about this last week. It might have been you, about how you cover college sports now with because like these coaches, you learn they don't have an off day anymore. Like the schedule of transfer portal and recruiting is always open. Now, as far as the way that the media covers it, there's the speaking season. Like these guys are going to hit the road for like going to educate people about NIL. The recruiting never stops. The transfer portal. It's wild now what this schedule has turned into for college football.
Yeah, I don't ever really want to try to break a coaching story in terms of they're hiring this guy as the head coach or not, because I just feel like those things can change.
Yeah.
I just feel like that. Yes,
Look at Stoops.
Yeah, exactly.
Left him on the stoop.
He was over there. Like it.
They
flew him in and he was on the ground.
I've heard reports that he was like on the runway in College Station. They were like, hold up.
Kind of a new Lane Kiffin tarmac situation in a different way.
Fell off the jetway again.
I'm sorry, Mark. You got to go back. We don't want you.
Right.
And buy a ticket. Can't use this jet.
Kind of floated it out there to the backers, and they said, no, we don't want this. We're not paying for it or whatever.
Yeah.
We want Mike Elko. Stoops is an interesting topic. I heard when we were talking at LSU there, somebody on the higher up said we took a hard look at Mark Stoops for this job. It's a case of he's done very well at Kentucky, kind of, I don't know, like the Kirk Ferentz type deal where he's maximized those resources to the utmost of his ability. How would he do at a place that has more resources like Texas A&M and bigger things to work with? So, it's they call the summer talking season, right? Because SEC media days and everything, nothing's going on, and this is kind of crazy season with coaching changes and transfer portal and all those different things. But yeah, it used to be a lot different. It used to be signing day was on the first Wednesday in February, and you knew that's when everyone was going to sign, and there was more time to breathe and make changes on coaches and this and that. And now it's just everything is really, sped up and put into hyperdrive.
Kim Mulkey has a press conference today.
1:00.
We expect any news?
I think we're going to get some news today. I think a lot of people update. Unsolved mysteries. Update.
Robert Stack,
yeah. December 12th, 1985.
I would tighten up when I heard his voice.
I've seen the meme before. It's like nothing was scarier in the 80s than this guy talking about stuff that no one found the answers to.
On a pitch black street.
Yeah.
In the duster. You're always like, oh my God, dude. Watch your back.
Something simple or something much more sinister.
Right. We'll be back.
We'll be back, yeah. How come we don't see UFOs? Well, we are seeing UFOs now, right? And it's just kind of sliding under the...
They're telling us to look over there. Look over there at the UFOs.
Yeah, now it's time to bring them out.
And then look over there at the UFOs, and then we'll make Angel Reese eligible again as a player today. Do you expect to see her tomorrow night?
I don't know, but I did kind of talk to some people, some sources that I've been kind of letting it lie, and I'm like... And they're like, I think you'll hear something soon. I think you're going to hear some information soon. So she did say in the Cayman Islands that she was going to address Kateri's situation when she got back. Kateri Poole, I think, played 5 minutes against Southeastern in Hammond and did not go to the Cayman Islands and has not really played much. And obviously this Angel Reese deal, Mulkey has not met with us since the Texas Southern game 2 Mondays ago. So it's been I know some people say, why don't you ask her these questions? Well, we haven't had the chance. So today I think we're going to get some if you had to put a gun to my head, I think we're going to get some information today, finally. LSU obviously plays Virginia Tech tomorrow night, top 10 team. Elizabeth Kitley at 6'6" is one of the best big men in the country. She's averaging 24 points a game.
Damn.
And 11 rebounds. I think she's shooting like 60% from the field. Obviously, last year, LSU beat Virginia Tech to go to the national championship. One of the great moments in LSU athletics, right? LSU baseball had a home game that night. It was packed, and then everyone was cheering because LSU was going to the national championship. And so this is a really good early season test. I think they played Iowa. They only lost about 4 points to Caitlin Clark and company. So it should be a huge crowd, 8 o'clock. So is this when you put Angel Reese back out there, and then I would think you would bring her off the bench if she did play, right?
Yes.
Anissa Morrow has been fantastic. She's 6 feet tall, or thereabouts. She's not. So Angel Reese has got 3 inches on her. Now look, in terms of rebounding and maybe on the inside, but Morrow's obviously done a great job, and you and I were talking off the air that she's projecting very well in WNBA and all that.
Well, she's National Player of the Week.
Yeah,
now. I mean,
right. Yeah,
ESPN,
37 points a game in the two.
She's the best shooter on campus. I mean, I'm not mean that sarcastically. I mean, she is the best mid-range jump shooter at LSU. I mean, men, women, doesn't matter. She is knocked down. I mean, you leave her open and it's a bucket.
She averaged 25 points a game at DePaul. The other night, it was the Texas Southern game, I think. She had 9 steals. She's active defensively as well. You know, she's not just one of these people that, hey, I just want to light it up offensively and not play defense. I mean, she does that as well. So, you know, they're still figuring out their dynamics with Haley Van Lith, coming aboard. Obviously, Michaela Williams is going to be one of the greatest players in LSU history. So it's different. It's obviously a much, much different than the men's side, where you probably you feel like you still don't have the bullets in the gun to, obviously the women have the talent. It's just a matter of they got to find out their chemistry and their lineup and all that stuff. But, long way to go. The basketball season's always kind of funky how you get going and then Christmas comes along and it kind of comes to a stop and then you got to crank it up again. And so, that's what we're kind of heading into right now.
Yeah, tough one last night for Big Man and the men on the road.
A nice stage, you're playing Syracuse, you're on national TV. Okay, let's see what we got, right? Okay, now, losing to Nicholls second game of the year, you can't sugarcoat that. That takes a lot of people out real quick. Oh my God, they suck again, right? I mean, that's what people are saying. They patched some wins together. Okay, you play in Syracuse, a team that made the NIT last year, I think. I mean, they're not not the Syracuse of old, and it's a 5-point game at halftime. In the second half, they just kind of
blew them out.
Yeah,
they blew them out.
They were up by as many as 26. So
I mean, dunking on them, runouts. It was just
anything they wanted, they got.
It was tough to watch that last night. I didn't think that they had 20 minutes like that in them anymore. You know what I mean? I thought that they were going to be more competitive. I didn't think that they would make a run, but I thought that they would be competitive all year.
Not run out,
like they were last night. So that was all right, JD. So we mentioned it. We started at this is high school football season, state semifinals. Baton Rouge teams very active. Obviously, when you got teams like Zachary, Catholic High, University High, who are always contending, you got a team that you got to send out there every single week, and this is usually when it gets really good. What's the plan for this week?
Well, we will do Sportsline Friday night. It will be our last Sportsline Friday night of the year, and then next week for the state championships, we'll cover those games on our sportscast. The state championships now, you have 8 classifications instead of 9. And then it starts Thursday. It goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's a 3-day event. And so we will do a show this week from 10:15 to 10:35. We'll do 20 minutes, 20-minute show this week. And we'll hopefully try to get some post-game reaction as well from some of these games to fill the time. And, this is it. This is the stretch run of the high school football season. We still have to decide what exactly we're doing with our Player of the Year award that we've done for many years. Need to start, accumulating information to see who's going to be our Player of the Year. We got a lot of people to choose from, and we just have a lot going on in terms of next week getting on the plane to go to New York City and covering the Heisman Trophy. And Jaden, a legitimate shot to win. It's all in flux. We'll see how this championship game goes between Oregon and Washington on Friday night. I think a lot of people will be watching with the meme. I hope both teams lose. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Both
3-0. Washington win.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah, that's right.
Both guys threw 4 picks.
That's right.
I think you only had in their first meeting. I think you only went for a little over 300 yards, Bo Nix, and 2 touchdowns. So I think if he has a performance like that, you would probably still kind of shoehorn Jaden Daniels in there. It's the 4 touchdown, 6 touchdown that you're scared of.
Well, and I don't want to be just the guy from Baton Rouge who campaigns for Jaden Daniels, and I want to look at things objectively. But it does seem like there's more and more information that these people are putting out when it comes to Bo Nix and his passing and where he throws it and how he doesn't throw it downfield and this and that. And he's not a runner, right? He hasn't racked up many yards running the ball as opposed to Jaden, who can, just run all over you. So, I think that we are in an era now where we have more information than ever before when it comes to, I think the things in the past were a lot more simplistic when it came to voting and who you choose and this and that. And I'm not sure if Gino Torretta in today's college football would win the Heisman Trophy.
That's right.
So we'll see what happens there. Tonight I got Kevin's going to go down to New Orleans to not only stop in and visit with the Saints. We're going to go live from the Pelicans tonight because we just don't have a chance to cover many Pelicans games tonight. We have a chance to do that. So they're playing the 76ers.
JD, are you making Ron do a stand-up?
Ron needs to do a stand-up. He needs to have a package, we call it, done by the end of the semester. So
put his reel together.
I'm going to say, Ron, you need to. We might need to put a college shirt on today, and
just let him know. Give him 24 hours notice.
Just give him a notice before he does it. Just so he can
WAFB Sports Line collar.
We'll talk about it.
Ron's been really enthusiastic about going down and covering the Pelicans game. So
he is.
And he loves the Pels.
He's Saints and Pelicans. You got a dude. Like he loves it.
Saints. Can we talk about Saints for a moment?
But you're getting C.J. McCollum back tonight for the Pelicans. He announced on his podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Then it's newsworthy.
Yes.
How bad are they?
I don't want to pile on and everything, but
sure.
I would have thought by now. Okay, you got a new quarterback and wide receivers. The timing's going to start clicking, right? They're going to start. And one interesting thing to me is that Drew Brees in 2020, when everyone was cracking on him about his arm being shot and this and that, still threw 24 touchdown passes in 12 regular season games that he played. And Derek Carr has 10 in 11 games this year. And it's like every week it's like, in my gut, I was like, I don't want to watch these guys. This is going to be a bad decision. But I do it. And I loved Lloyd's line yesterday about being the best summer school kid.
Yeah,
smartest summer
school.
I mean, this schedule. I mean, you haven't sniffed the Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Can you imagine going up against Baltimore?
I mean, San Francisco.
Oh. I mean, this reminds me of my senior year in high school when I stacked my, with electives like, home ec, ag, yearbook, movie study. I think my senior year in high school I had like 5 A's, a C, and a B, just because I just loaded it with
had that Burrow schedule,
cupcakes.
Right.
And this kind of reminds me of that. It's like, and you're still making C's and D's against this, against this schedule, and
making excuses.
I found that the Derek Carr, the safety left his responsibility. You don't expect him to do that.
Come on, man.
Line. And look, I thought Derek Carr in the offseason, he was a likable guy. He's all invested in the city of New Orleans, but you just have bad feelings. And Dennis Allen, I watch him sometimes, and I'm not being snarky. It's like, do you want to do this? Do you really want to be a head coach? Or it's almost like somebody forced him to do it. He doesn't seem like a guy who really enjoys it. Whether they win or they lose, it's like...
They act like they're doing the city of New Orleans a favor. Like, it feels like that's what Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael and even I would put Carr in there, where it feels like, oh, we have to do this, and you're welcome for us going out there and trying. And it's like, all shucks. That's not what anybody wants to hear anymore.
In reality, in my opinion, anything in the NFL 10, 12 years or longer is going to start to feel...
stale.
Look at Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Belichick it feels like, from Louisiana looking into Boston, it feels like they are done with him. Like, it feels like they are just like, hey, man, appreciate everything.
Greatest of all time.
Let's do something else. And that's how I feel about the whole Loomis, Lauscha experience from the executive team. Like, I will always be grateful for what you gave the city, for what you gave the fan base, the state, South Louisiana, the championship, Sean Payton, everything. But it's over. Like, it feels over. They feel disconnected. They own horse races. They own NBA. They own real estate. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I mean, your portfolio has expanded over the last 5 years. What's the priority of the Saints? And a lot like what you say, Dennis Allen feels to me like not a priority. It feels like a guy you're like, hey, just put him in there. Let's continue to make profit, draft middle of the pack every year, and just kind of stay relevant. And if that's the case, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of people are starting to see that if that is it, I'm not signing up for that. You know, and I think that's the issue. It's like the Loomis, Lauscha whole deal is just stale. It's just
Loomis has been there a long time. Loomis goes all the way back to Hazlitt.
Man.
Yeah, he was there with Hazlitt, and I remember at the end of Hazlitt, there was some kind of gripes and grumbles about this Mickey Loomis guy, and should he be gone now? Apparently, he is a brilliant when crunching numbers and coming up with contracts and everything. That was always the very simplistic view that he did not know football all that well, but he has been there since Hazlitt.
Yeah,
2 decades.
And I have been told by like very trusted people that the whole Sean Payton, Mickey Loomis, like best friend, like that's not true. Like they do not, like the last 4 or 5 years with one another, and even now, like they did not talk. Like they didn't communicate because of that. Like Peyton was like, I'm doing the football stuff.
Well, Jordy, Sharon and I take a good look at our players, and we. That's my Mickey Loomis.
You don't have to tell us who it is.
That's just real quick.
It sounds just like him.
We trade up and, take a look at the best players. And so that's my, real quick. Like my Mac Browns real quick, we enjoyed our time at the University of Texas. When Mac Brown's at Texas, University of Texas. Short and sweet for you. It's like every time I hear Whit Weeks, too, for whatever reason, I think of Stewie on Family Guy. Let me tell you, fat man, about Whit Weeks.
Whit Weeks.
And then the dog, Brian. Why do you say it like that? It's Whit Weeks. Whit Weeks. So, our Whit Weeks and his foot.
Yeah, right. Footgate. He moved last week.
I mean, I don't want to, it just doesn't feel like he's going to turn. As I'm sitting here right now, it doesn't feel like there's a turnaround point, right?
I'm with you.
It feels like you've got a body of work, and just even take the Raiders thing out of the equation, because I always see people put up his winning percentage, and it's 30% or whatever. But just with the Saints, it's where's the fire? Where's the – and you don't have to throw your headset and be emotional to be a great coach, but when you're not maximizing the talent on the roster, are they the most talented team in the league? No, but they're much better than 5 and 6 against this schedule in that division.
Definitely.
And so I think the fans have questions. Our sister station in New Orleans interviewed some fans after the latest loss, and there was just one guy. It was so funny. He was just like, "I'm sick of Dennis Allen. I'm sick of Derek Carr. I'm sick of Pete Carmichael. I'm sick of everybody." And that was just a soundbite. I was like, that is.
Have you been listening to Bobby on the point after?
I can imagine.
It is.
Now, this is ridiculous.
It is so like he has the same feeling you do on Dennis Allen. He's like, there's no fire.
Like I always say, Bobby Hebert is the king of using no back to back. Like, now you think you can walk around on the sidelines with your arms folded? No, you got to show some fire. My man Bobby, no one's gonna feel sorry for yourself. That's one he cranked out one time.
Yeah, he's the best.
He was talking to Drew Brees one time. Man, Drew, how happy you are about that draft? And I would say this, Bobby Hebert is one of my childhood
I love
heroes.
him.
He was my first Saints quarterback. First games I ever went to. He was the guy.
100%.
And his funniest story he ever told me, that was back in the days when the Saints were going head-to-head with the 49ers and Joe Montana in the same division. And one time, Hebert said he got smashed, like driven into the ground, hit late. He stands up. He goes, "Man, if that was Joe Montana, I bet you'd throw a flag." And he said the ref looked at him and said, "You're probably right."
JD, great to see you.
All right, thanks for having me.
9 Sports, WAFB Sports Director. Get in touch with me. We'll be back and close it out here on the show.
Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the blood like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by Hebert's Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, Hebert's Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. Hebert's can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. Hebert's Lawn Maintenance.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Here you go.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah.
Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, go roof. Roof, roof, go roof.
Hey, Greg, roof up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up. Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Well, the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together 2 great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
I'm Tom Granick with Go Martin, Wardo's Po' Boys in Natchez, Mississippi. On behalf of the Granick family, we invite you to run, walk, or stroll in the 2nd annual Rudolph Roll. Held on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, this holiday event will kick off at 8 a.m. on December 9th and will include a 10K, 5K, and 1 mile kids fun run. Along with the race, there will be live music, drinks, and of course, po' boys. We're looking forward to an even bigger party this year. For more information, please check out the link on Wardo's Facebook page or scan the QR code. Hope to see y'all there.
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on.
Did you do it?
Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up?
Roof's up!
Roof's up!
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Malik Neighbors, a wide receiver.
Favorite pregame meal?
Popeyes.
What would winning a national championship mean to you?
It would mean a lot to me because, we seen a lot of the greats come through here, won their national championship, got, remembered for life.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Probably fly. That or telekinesis.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Do it wrong, do it long. Do it right, do it light. Kyle Lacey, wide receiver, number 2.
Do you have any nicknames?
K2.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Stay humble.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Fly. I be flying in my dreams.
What's been the highlight of your partnership with us?
The bike giveaway was one of the best things. I was pretty excited about that one. Texas A&M, I just got a point to prove because last year I dropped 2 balls I should have caught. I'm coming for them for real.
That's it. Thank you, man.
My name is Harold Perkins, and I play linebacker.
What's your favorite pre-game meal or snack?
Pasta with a little steak, something that's not too heavy.
Any superstitions or pre-game rituals?
I pray a lot. Just be me and God before the game. Perky worky. I like when they call me the percolator. I like that.
If anyone gets in a wreck, who should they call?
Gore.
Thanks. Where were you born at, Greg?
Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But I claim 5 food because I was raised there my whole life. Favorite type of food is spaghetti. But you need to try spaghetti with some corn on the side. Funniest person, I'd probably get Kyron Lacey. He be having me joked out every time I talk to him.
Who's the most athletic?
You know, besides myself, Perk or Malik. Future self, just take one day at a time, one step at a time. If you're doing something, just be where your feet are. Make sure you give 100% effort.
What is something on your bucket list?
Win a Super Bowl. That's definitely on my bucket list.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Time traveling.
Who's the fastest on the team?
Like in a short span, I would say quick trigger, I'm taking Perk. One thing most people don't know about me, probably that I moved 12 times growing up, 12 different states.
Who's the most savage on the team?
Mason Smith. Mason Smith, definitely.
And who gets it done?
Gordon.
Thank you, man. That's great.
Emory Jones, right tackle.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Got it from my mom, and she just told me, always keep your head on the swivel.
Favorite subject?
Math, easy. I kind of keep it light. Give me some type of red beans or something like that. Throw a little cornbread on the side.
Light with red beans.
Yeah, just a little bit. I am superstitious. I got some PSDs that's purple and yellow and white. I wear them every game. I feel like they my lucky draws, and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep doing it.
As primary care sports physicians, the things we think about the most with our athletes from a medical standpoint usually involves the head, the climate, and the heart. We have to be very careful about participating in sports when it is safe, but also having the proper equipment to take care of them if we are worried about the athletes. So here in Louisiana, obviously heat can be a big problem. Things that I think about as a primary care sports medicine physician is that it's safe enough for our athletes to participate. And there are certain regulations that we follow here at Ochsner, but throughout the entire state, to make sure it is safe for our athletes to participate. When we think about concussion, we have to really recognize those symptoms from the forefront, and that becomes a cultural issue as well. As for the heart, screening exams are by far the most important thing that we can think about. We go through a series of questions, but also listen to the athlete's heart and ask about family history and other symptoms they may have had in the past. By doing so, we can identify and potentially screen out athletes to make sure that they are safe to participate in the sports that they love to do.
Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up.
Welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show, as always, built by R&B Builders, live here on this Wednesday morning. Give us a like, share, follow. Make sure and subscribe to the show if you have not subscribed. We appreciate you as always. Another day, more slander on Tiger droppings, as I was sent the link yesterday. Jordy confident no staff changes upcoming. Who the hell writes this? I mean, like, where do you get your information from? Who's listening to that? I know that I have never said that I am confident that no staff changes were going to be made. In fact, yesterday, I think I doubled down on saying, after speaking to more people, I'm confident that Matt House is going to come back and that there will be staff changes made. This Tiger droppings, please, man.
Well, I think that's
this is the lunchroom of the high school.
Exactly.
The gossip column. More on it. Lloyd agreed, LOL.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, that's all I do every year.
Jordy knows nothing. Lloyd said to bury the hatchet on this. LOL, the guy always uses the wrong cliche.
What? I didn't say that either. I've never said bury the hatchet.
Does Jordy not like BK or something? His actions lately, ... I like BK. But, I mean, it's our job to call out what's going on, keep it up to date what's happening. Yesterday it was House staying, but the rest of the staff wasn't. Guess he's got to vary it up to get people to tune in daily, ATL Tiger says. That was the same story in back-to-back days, ATL.
Well, it's just, that's what I'm saying. Once it becomes something that may be fact, or it seems like you may have sources that Tiger dropping, some people have to spin the narrative a little bit.
I will say that this guy, B-Loop 2, who has been a member of Tiger Dropping since April of 2011, has made over 2,700 posts, says, goodness, in all caps. Jordy literally has 0 inside sources. Fuck Jordy. Damn, B. But it would pain you to learn that I do have inside sources and that they've told me about what I'm telling you. Who still listens to that troll? Stop giving him publicity. Make him go away. 1610 man says if it would have happened, it would have already happened. He goes from staff changes on Sunday to 0 changes by Tuesday. Jordy knows nothing.
We didn't even have a show Sunday. We didn't have a Sunday show.
What are you talking about?
This is all starting off of somebody that made a thread that it's totally false. Like the title of it's wrong. I mean, and then all these people that haven't listened to the show are all just saying exactly what they rinse and repeat said on the previous stream or the previous thread.
Yeah, the previous thread was 8 pages.
Yeah,
this was 5.
I thought this was the same one.
No,
and they made another one. I love my people over at Tiger Dropping.
Mid-Tiger Farm says, hopefully people will stop listening to him once or for all after he ends up totally wrong about this.
Baseball Coach 23. Why watch that garbage?
What did they watch then?
B Stew 3006. Jordy confident no staff changes upcoming. He said he's confident that House would be retained, but there would be changes on the defensive staff. B Stew 3006. Send us your address. We'll send you some gear, buddy. We appreciate it. Member since 2007. Over 12,000 posts. So an active Tiger Droppings. Listener, viewer.
Troll.
Arky Tiger just says Mikey Matuk and Jared Mitchell. He has nothing to say to it, just other than that.
We got to respect that.
M. Dominique said, Lloyd agreed, LOL. He said yesterday he expected House to return, but the rest of the defensive staff is likely to be replaced. He also said he wasn't sure, just that was the feedback he had from people that he knew around the program. Heads up, somebody who's actually listening and putting out the information that we're talking about. Then there is a pure blood Jordy and Lloyd quote with the Dumb and Dumber quote.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber. Not even the good one.
That is not the good one. Is that? Who are those bums?
You got a Georgia fan that's a fan of you, though, Lloyd.
There we go. I'll take it. I'll take anybody that wants to get in the boat.
Says, hi, Lloyd.
There we go. Like I don't have an account on Tiger Droppings.
I think we need to get one.
I don't think you can. I think if you're in the media, it's like frowned upon. You get
the intern can.
Yeah, you get banhammered. Because you can't like openly promote your show on Tiger
no
Dropping.
promotion.
No, we're not trying to. They're doing the promoting.
Yeah,
right.
All publicity is good publicity.
Jim Tiger 72. Jordy knows nothing. Dude has been wrong more times than he's been right. I'm still waiting on the list. I was talking to the Tiger Droppings posters the other day about the list where you said I've been more wrong than right. Where's the list? Make the list. Solo Tiger. He's intelligent. He's just baked. This guy knows me.
Oh my God, that guy might actually know you.
Call me out.
Is that you, Jesse?
Great customer.
This is great. Another 5-page thread, though.
That's good. I'm only on page 2. All fairness, Handegrift said the same thing yesterday on his 11 a.m. show. They love Charles.
So did T-Bob.
Yeah, I mean...
Handegrift's the OG.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to Franklin. Yeah. OG, Hanson alum.
He's the Don.
Yeah.
He's the Don.
Concrete Threshold. I really like Jordy and tried to give his show a chance. I just can't stand anyone else on it. Ew.
Oh, damn. No
like, who are those people? They seem to have little understanding experience with the sport.
Oh, all right, cool. Damn, that one hurt.
LSU
really,
Steve says if they were going to fire him, it would have already happened. He says that's false.
Wow.
Canyon says, I just get a kick out of the oversized mics and they constantly adjusting them. I know this thing is always.
Look, well, they're worn out, Coach. We've had these things for 3 years. Yeah. Been doing this a minute.
Doing this for a long time.
Yeah, worked for Handegrift, too. Been here. I've heard all the things.
Here we go, my man. Go Tigers 0107. Jordy confident, no staff changes upcoming. That's not what he says. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? Are you just trolling Jordy? Thank you, my man. Go Tigers. This Tiger Droppings is the high school cafeteria of the message board. The gossiping.
You'll have some time.
The little just
the little clips
back
in there.
and forth. The shots behind the keyboard.
You could just get on Twitter for this.
email me.
And they have like internal beef inside with each other.
It's a lot like the chat. It's a lot like the chat.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I appreciate that everybody wants to talk about LSU football. That's how big the brand is for the Tigers.
It's
like,
just so strange that nobody has pictures on here.
It's no,
it's you just hide behind.
It's a place where you go. It's a dark alley to get a reverse tug job. Like,
Jordy
I don't want
and
anybody
Lloyd,
to see me.
Jordy and Lloyd literally have no idea what they're talking about. Jordy has admitted on multiple occasions he's not nearly as connected inside the building under BK. He's just trying to stir up people. There's not much going on in LSU sports this week. Really?
Really?
Moscona has sources inside the building, and he is usually right. He said no way House is retained. Mike Scarborough also said the defensive staff changes are coming, but Culotta and Hannegriff said he will likely stay. I don't think any of these talking heads know. What a thread.
Yeah, I mean,
it's great.
That's the funniest part about it.
It's good banter.
It's all based off a thread that was created with the wrong title.
Tigers jump. Of course, the short, bald Italian is mad because the guy he wanted for the inside access to the program is on a super hot seat in Florida stinking up the joint. Anyone with sense would have known he would. I just said that Napier wanted the job, if you go back to that. Like, people saying that I was saying that was the guy. I just told you he didn't get an interview. He wanted the job. It's funny, man.
These people are.
I'm sure this will cause another one.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, keep us in the SEO.
5-page thread. Get me up to 6 today.
At least next time.
Drop a bomb on them.
Drop some names.
Yeah, let's be honest. Jordy's a bit of a whore. He allowed one guy to use his platform to campaign and position himself for a job he didn't deserve and championed for him nonstop. I still remember how cringe this promo he and Derek did for O when he hired as a defensive line coach. Then as the ship was going down, you'd think you'd have to learn his lesson. Nope, dude let Napier come on weekly to discuss his process and promote himself. Jordy looks out for Jordy, which is fine. Just know how much of the crap he spews has an agenda behind it. He doesn't have any good ends with the program currently, so it serves him better to act unstable within. I was listening to the show for a while, but mostly stopped due to all the cackling and yelling into the mic. It also comes off as as he's just winging it daily, outside of his guest. And all calling each other coach is weird.
If you don't get it, you don't get it, coach.
You should read the one from PP7 for Heisman.
Oh, I love the name.
Yeah, I love the name, but it's kind of late.
Stop listening to these jack-offs, fat bastard says.
You can or you can't.
One of these days, Jordy's going to F around and be right about something.
That's right. We keep
TD Tom says, please don't let it be this.
Squirrel always finds a nut.
That's right.
Culotta lost all his sources when Will Wade left. Yeah, Wade was connected inside the football program. Speaking of, Wade will be on Friday morning at 8 a.m.
There you go. We'll get our sources then.
LSU for the win. Jordy's terrible. Thank you, LSU.
We should like set up a fight or something. These people sound like they want to fight.
They're a big. Let's go to Sonic. Beef it out.
You with your big truck. You big squad
Jordy
truck.
needs to be pulled off the motherfucking air.
By who?
I'm not on the air. I'm not on the air anymore.
Jeez.
Does Jordy not like BK or something?
How are you so controversial? You're
it's
so
very clear that he doesn't like Brian Kelly.
Damn.
Frick Jordy.
Damn.
I like the guy too.
I know.
Good coach.
I mean,
back-to-back 6-win seasons to back-to-back possibly 10-win seasons. Seems like the plan's in place. The path.
Tiger droppings. The high school cafeteria.
It's the best.
Hit me again on a Wednesday. We'll be back and read it on Thursday. It's awesome.
It's a weekly segment.
It is, man. We're going to make something out of this. All right, so we appreciate you being out there. Appreciate your threading for us. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button. Go start that fake thread over in Tiger Droppings today. Again, let me clarify for you out there real quick, just to make sure we're on the same page here, that the title of that thread is said, Jordy's confident no staff changes are upcoming. That's not true. I've never said that. I've never even flirted by saying that. I said that I was confident that Matt House would be back and that there would be staff changes. So in today's thread, make sure we can at least get the title right.
And that thing went up at 7:19, like right after we went live.
Damn.
So was he listening or not?
I guess he was listening, and he was just like
half-heartedly listening. He heard what he wanted to hear.
I need to go to Tiger
That's
Droppings.
it. There it is.
Got the headline.
Appreciate everybody being out there. Like, share, follow. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. As usual, Built by R&B live here on the campus of Click Here Digital.
Lurker.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. It's the hottest show around, we ain't gotta flex. Call up G, we get it done, we earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in, where they going next. Throw up the L's, now we lit, band playing neck. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live, mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got